Good afternoon, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to be doing our final follow-up video, I think, on the Cetra video that I did the other day. Don't worry, there's going to be a little bit less of an emotional hinge here. We're going to be talking about Cetra's alleged Diggs retaliation, which is pretty funny to me. And we're also going to be talking about some of the great community responses that I've had over the last couple of days. So let's go ahead. We're 96 hours in from Giant being gone. Let's dig in. So you would think by this point that Cetra leadership would have reached out to me. You think they would have in some way connected with me, apologized, tried to sort the situation out, and that has literally just not happened. You know, it's one of those awkward situations where it's not hard to get a hold of me. It's not hard to message me. You would think in a leadership role, making a mistake, like calling a content creator a pedophile, like Cetra has done, would warrant an immediate intervention by all of the leadership to reach out to that person. And that's just really what we haven't seen. What we've seen instead is the general chat in Cetra, you know, banning most other top 10 guild leaders and other guild members. We've seen anybody speaking up or asking questions getting banned from their Discord. We've seen a sort of gathering of people that dislike me and a community cesspool of anti-Diggs rhetoric that is akin to alt-right conspiracy theories. And all you have to do is go to my previous video and look at the comments from Zach to get an understanding of how disconnected the perception of the Cetra guild is with what reality actually is. And it's pretty interesting to also consider that instead of apologizing or thinking that they've done something wrong, they've doubled down. Even when their leadership has been removed from other Discords, they've doubled down and they're working on a Diggs retaliation right now. Important to note, I'm the one that calls it a Diggs retaliation. They called it #boycott_Diggs, and I really think that, you know, Diggs retaliation sounds much better. And if you're going for a retaliation, you should go with Diggs retaliation instead. No doubt they are combing through my Twitch VODs, trying to find everything that I've talked about that might be controversial. They're combing through my YouTube videos. They're stitching together, you know, pieces of things that I've said that are most likely out of context, because we do talk a lot about politics in my channel on Twitch. We do talk about a lot of things, and we do, in fact, talk about them pretty heavily. I don't usually ban anybody from my Twitch chat because I do believe that both sides are valuable to hear from. And I think that is a important thing that we have lost in our world. And I think right now, this is just another example of how people are unable to reconcile their differences. They're unable to come together and have a conversation. And instead, they're going to dig in, you know, blast their rhetoric, and they're going to die by what they believe. And at the current rate that the Cetra guild is going, they will die at this rate. I want to talk about more positive things, though, because, of course, as interesting as the Diggs retaliation is, and as interesting as it would be for me to put up a bunch of screen grabs I have from the Cetra community Discord, I really just want to talk about the public response to my last video and the positive support that I've received. A lot of you guys reached out to me in DMs. A lot of you guys commented on my YouTube videos, messages of support. People I didn't even know. People's wives were commenting who said, you know, I don't watch you, but my husband does, and this is ridiculous. And I just want to thank everybody who spoke up and commented. I really want to thank everybody else who was also a victim of Cetra's bullying. All of you guys who were brave enough to post what you did, you know, talking about how Cetra has bullied you, how Anais has bullied you in the past. You know, all of that is so valuable. And, you know, it takes courage to speak up after somebody has already slapped you across the face and called you a cheater. And probably the biggest irony of all of this is Cetra is the biggest anti-cheating guild out there. And literally the reason that I haven't done a draconian proof video yet is because I'm doing a video on Cetra even after yesterday, the proof of draconian hacking had been given to me, because right now Cetra is more important to me and dealing with Cetra's issues than dealing with draconian. And it's kind of funny that the most anti-hacking guild would be in a position where they are actually helping one of the pro hacking guilds, albeit in an inadvertent way. Although, according to their rhetoric, I mean, that would technically be supporting a hacking guild, I guess, since that's what they're saying I'm doing. But yeah, lots of people have been positive. I think probably the best experience I've had is in, guild discords where I've seen guild leaders speak up. I've seen people who don't even know me speak up. I've seen people who don't even know me and don't even like me speak up. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that really moved me and really, gives me faith in our community, because my video is not going to be what, rocks the, what destroys, etc. Right? Like, I could have made a video, and I wanted to make a video that was, I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna crush Cetra. But I think that type of energy and that type of goal is never productive. And I think what I ended up settling on was an appeal to people's hearts. And I think that really worked and helped. And it's not about getting Cetra. It's not about, crushing them. It's about standing up for what's right. It's about holding people accountable, holding communities accountable. And it's about, inspiring people who don't know me, who don't like me, to be able to speak up and say what is right. And in a world where, we are surrounded by this rhetoric and by this, concept and this divisiveness, I find being able to reach and speak to people, even with different opinions, is one of the hardest things in the world. And that's one of the biggest goals I had. And, one of the things I'm still learning is how not to be angry at those people who have different rhetorics, how not to, condemn them and, put them down. It's really, how are you being vulnerable? How are you expressing your feelings? And how are you really reaching such a closed off heart with those connections? And that might be perceived as weak. That might be perceived as, not the way to go. Because a lot of the times we say, condemnation, you have to do that in this situation. But honestly, I think, maybe we need to find a happy balance. And that's really what all this kind of has felt like for me. And it's really been moving to see, people I've never met take action. And I hope as we're going forward, as I kind of return to normal and go back to my normal schedule, as Giant returns, we are able to, as a community, come together and maybe heal from this. Maybe Cetra will apologize, or maybe they'll release a Diggs Taliation video. We'll see. In which case, I may be here in another couple days doing another Cetra video. But hopefully the community will be able to heal. Hopefully it'll grow in a more positive way. And hopefully things get better from here. Anyway, everybody, we will return to our normal videos starting Monday. Sorry for the lack of content. It's just been busy with Giant gone and with all of this drama happening. But yeah, go check out Oran J. He's had a lot of good videos this week. Even though he thinks Final Fantasy VII is coming soon, I think he's going to get a rough surprise, because I think Tomb Raider is going to come first. So that's my bet right now. I'm going to bet against Oran J that Tomb Raider is going to show up before Final Fantasy VII, which is like my worst nightmare. And I know nobody wants that, but I'm just putting it out there right now. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.